9 and I'm back with another VIP video for you guys. So in this video I'm going to be talking about BTC in general, talk about BTC dominance and how it affects altcoins. I'm going to do an Ethereum chart and I'm going to do some on-chain analysis as well on BTC, and I might look at Luna as well. It's a previous trade that I spoke about in a video, so it'll be good for you guys to see how that trade is playing out separately. So yeah, let's start off with BTC on the 1 hour. So at the moment, so we have, since the rejection that I mentioned here earlier, when was it, the 7th? There we go. Yeah, the 7th of July. I said the candles do look weak on the 4 hour, then obviously we switched that over to the 1 hour. We can see this line of 35,000 acting as heavy resistance for BTC. Failed to break it here, failed to break it here. Here we didn't really attempt it. We broke through here, but that was a fake out. We came back down to retest support. Failed to break here. Again, broke it here. And again, that was a retest and came back down to support. So we know this line of 35,000 is heavy resistance for BTC. And as we was approaching this area and the lack of volume and all the news around BTC at the same time, the chart was not looking great. We only had one wick up that just touched it, and this would have been a very useful area to be there. This area would have been a very useful area to be shorting BTC at the moment. So yeah, so that would have been a great short from this here. Seeing how we played out, if we lost that support, we could be able to go to this support again. We had some bounce here the other day, but obviously failed to hold that, and back down to here to this support of 32,000. So again, that would have been a great short. And just quickly, with everyone that's replied back to me in regards to longs and shorts, and if you're trying to leverage trade this chopness and this area right now, the biggest mistake you can make as a trader is longing on resistance and shorting on support. Those are the big two no's you don't want to do. Here, you are not looking for a long here, especially when you have this uptrend here. You're not looking to long here. If it fails to hit that, go past this resistance, you're looking to short. Come back down here, maybe you can look for long in this region. At the moment, we're having a little bit of a bounce, so we've not recovered as quickly as anticipated. Again, look, we have this box here of 33,000 acting as resistance at the moment, which was previous support in this region here. Again, look, it was previous support here, and now it's acting as resistance. Yeah. So guys, we need to choose our battles carefully. We don't want to be longing at resistance. We want to be shorting at resistance if we've got a good chance. I think we want to be longing at support if we have that bounce. You don't want to be shorting at support. That's a no-no. Because look here, we had this support bounce here area, we bounced back up to this resistance area, short back down here, long, short back up here, long, short there, long here possibly. What's that? 5-6 trades of longs and shorts. So again, this is a thing I want to get everyone to encourage you guys to do individually as traders for BTC, is to understand, you know, this chart. I've drawn it for you guys since last week. I've been tracking the same chart, obviously on the 1 hour. Obviously, you can move this to the 15 minutes if you want to do your trading. Again, look at that range. Look at this range that we have going on at the moment here. We're ranging at the moment here. Look, ranging. Trying to back above, no, ranging. Touching resistance, still ranging. We'll switch that back to the 1 hour. Switch that to the 4 hour. Again, look, same areas. Resistance there, resistance here, or here. So obviously, what I'm trying to show to you guys is when you're trying to leverage trades, or you're trying to do spot trades, or when's the best time to buy, etc. And with any trade, majority with BTC, you want to be buying at support, selling at resistance. And then if you're leverage trading and you want to long at support and short at resistance, listen, there's some circumstances where you're trying to short at resistance and it just breaks through, which is a short squeeze. Doesn't happen regular. It doesn't happen that often, but again, it depends obviously how much you're risking capital, etc. And like I said, I'm working on a video for futures, long, shorts, how to leverage properly, how to use risk management when leverage trading, because you can easily get wrecked and lose all your money just by leveraging the wrong way. And any good trader or that you see on Twitter or YouTube or social media or anything, and when they're showing the big longs and shorts, they're not just longing and shorting just because they had a gut feeling. They've looked at a chart, seen where the price action of BTC is doing, whether we're coming up to resistance, whether they're going to bounce off support, and plan the leverage trade or futures trade according to that. And again, I want to keep this as simple as I can, because many traders try to overcomplicate it with too many indicators and just using too much tools, where I've always stuck to the basics, and this is the best way I've learned. But when doing technical analysis as a trader, etc., is use support resistance lines as your guide, because these lines, what's happened previously, obviously I'm just showing you from the 28th of June onwards, when we had a big pump coming up to this region. I want to show you what the price action is done. And obviously this price action helps you identify where you should be selling, where you should be buying, where you should be selling, where you should be buying. Simple as that. And that goes with your altcoins as well, because like I've said, the majority, like 99% of all altcoins, follow the pendulum of BTC and BTC's direction. BTC is going to pump, you're pretty much guaranteed altcoins will come up with it. If it's BTC starts to dump, altcoins start to dump too. But the problem is, altcoins dump harder in the USDT pairs than against the BTC pairs. And obviously something I'm researching on the reason why, etc. But yeah, it's just something for you to know. Listen, it's trading and doing technical analysis on charts is simple. You just need to put the work in and the time in, identify trends, identify areas where you can be trading it, the ranges, etc. And literally, I'm just going to break it down to where we are currently right now. Show what's happening right here. Nothing like rocket science right now. Let me just turn this off for you so you can see it later. But we've come back down to here. I did consider actually a long here. We had this dump from 35 back down to 32. I did consider a long here, but I didn't jump in it straight away because I was waiting for it how to play out. Because the lack of volume that we had when we dumped wasn't great, so I knew we'll have some resistance in this region of 33,000, and I'll explain to you why. Move to the right. 33,000 was previous support here before we had the upside, and again it was previous resistance here. There's resistance in this region here, support here, and now it's acting as resistance here. So what I'm looking for currently, to break above this resistance and to hold above. Then we can target this next region here of 33,700. But looking at it right now, there's a lot of just that chop here on the sideways action. There's nothing else really recently at that resistance. We push up quite quickly. Then we get to heavy resistance at 34, then back up to 35 whenever we push to that region. The price can move up and down really quickly. Need to anticipate the moves of BTC when we're trading against any altcoin, or any trade setup you're looking at, or any coins that you're looking at. You need to see what BTC is currently doing. Currently, look, trying to break to the 33,000. Look, this line is acting perfectly. Look, there's resistance there with these two candles here. We wicked up, but we close under. So we know this area is a bit of resistance. Break above. Lose this. So if you start dumped again, start losing, say for, was it 32,366? Then we can see push down to 31,500. Again, it's not a lot of support in that area previously, just these long wicks here, etc. Yeah, so that's BTC, what I'm looking at the moment, the range I'm looking at, you know, a lot can change, etc. So obviously the next thing I want to talk to you about is BTC dominance, and I think I want to do this from fresh actually, because I've used the previous chart on it. So you type in BTC.D to show me, and it shows you the market cap of BTC dominance calculated by TradingView. So I'm just going to switch this to the 1 day. Yeah. I just want to show you what's there. Anyway, I'm going to show you what's been happening since, I don't know, let's say the 13th of March or 6th of, all right, let's go from the beginning of the year, right? Let's see 2nd of January. And I'm pretty sure if you look at a chart of BTC around that time, that's when we had the first initial, we had a big pump up, retraced back in February and pumped again in February. And once this dominance was up at 72% against altcoins, once we saw that dominance gradually fall, there. So once we saw this going down here, going down, etc., price of altcoins starting to gather momentum from this period of 3rd, 2nd January, etc., all the way up to when, there we go, what a surprise, 19th of May, which was the huge dump that we had. So we saw dominance of BTC going down since that period, going down. One benchmark area that I want to look at is 50% mark. Try and draw that's accurate. There we go, there. Great. I'll do horizontal lines, much better. Okay, right. This line here is the line that I'm looking at where altcoins do really well. We saw it in this region here when BTC started dropping from this level in December 2017, and we had the big capitulation blow off top of BTC at 20,000. Once we start showing the dominance drop in here, dropped all the way back down to 35.46. Then we had a proper alt season from December all the way up to July. Was that 6-7 months? That was alt season back in 2017, 2018. And then BTC started getting dominance again. Whilst BTC was dominating here, altcoins were in the bear market. Then we saw dominance slowly fall back up to here. There's the crash as well around here, 13th of March, and dominance go down, then bounce back up, start doing well. And then once we fell underneath this line here, then we saw altcoins do well, and then we had this recovery here in May, back again in June, but BTC price was making recovery, and then altcoins were suffering the most. Then yeah, and then that's what it is. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna draw a quick what's happened here. Kind of see possible downtrend here. Even wedge that up as well. Wedge it, depending on how you want to look at it. There you go. That wedge there, 1 hour. Obviously, we don't want to fall in wedge. We want this dominance to go back down. So kind of want to this and break down here. Even though that's the bullish sign, but we need to be targeting go back down here. This is the region we want to see BTC dominance slowly drop back down, which is showing us some strength of altcoins. But yeah, so that's what we're currently looking at the moment. You know, every time we see BTC go target some resistance and support, we can see the switch changes of prices, etc. So that's quickly on the dominance. Now I'm going to switch it. Let's do Ethereum as a fresh chart. Let's use finance. So this is Ethereum currently on the daily. So I'm just going to quickly draw some lines for you to show you what's happening here. Right. So this is on the daily. So obviously we're at the upside. Again, look, the same period that I said to you guys in the BTC dominance. As you saw that dominance started dropping. BTC, Ethereum's price started going up. Look at that. 12th of May capitulated. 19th of May came back down here. Rather than in the same region. But what I'm currently looking at, I'll quickly draw this some support and resistance lines for you guys. All right, we see this region here is resistance, resistance, and support. We can easily just place a line just above here on the daily, and that line of 1952 be one of our main support lines here. Then we can draw another one underneath it. We're going to draw top of this resistance and this support here. There you go, right there. See that? That was resistance at 1423. Now that area turned to support because we had one resistance here up to 1952. Came back down to support here at 1423. Bounced up again. Then we come back down and went up again and went up to this region. And then now I'm going to draw a line for you where we're currently facing some resistance here. Out there. So look, I'll zoom in for you guys so you can see this on the daily. Very simple. Distance there. Same line that we have there. In support here, and kind of support here when it bounced up to the region. Was previous resistance, had a fake out, came back down, test this old support, and bounced back up. So yeah, look, so now that line here, 2,328 on the daily, on the 1 day chart, is acting as resistance. And we know this line here of the 1952 is our support on the daily. Obviously, we can move one line down to capture these movements here of the closes. And it's not much going on in this line between here. So I wouldn't really count that, so I'll delete that. Then after that, if we break above this area, we can look to target, I would say psychological number 2,500, very round number. Then after that, it's not much really. I'll say there, I'll say at 2,800. And if you do 2,800, we can see go back up to 3,000. But look at the areas of resistance and support that we have all the way going down and down this region we need to do. So we can see Ethereum bouncing here. Again, looking back at it, let me switch it on the 4 day. I'll show you the opportunity of the short. There we go, that would have been a great short here. Kind of fake out. Bounce in this region, had a fake out, came back down, fake out, came back down, and now it's pushing towards this region here. Again, I want to emphasize something to you guys when drawing charts and what I look at. When I'm looking at this region here, I'm not longing, I'm not longing, I'm not shorting when it's doing this. Because first of all, for the daily, we're on in the middle ground. We're nowhere at the moment here. So we're not established no support, we're not established no resistance. If you want to bring it down to the 1 hour, what you can possibly do, you can say, right, we never touched this support since we broke it. So we can actually use previous support where we touched here. We can use that as support. Again, it didn't touch it, so again, in no man's land there. Again, I don't want to be touching this. I'm either waiting for pump up to here, which I don't see it happening just yet because of the way Ethereum dumped. I'll see, definitely go back there. Or we get retest, delete. So what we can do, we can either do this, come back up. So we retest this lower support of 2000 region that we did 2nd of July. We nearly looked down here, or we come back down, bounce in this region, bounce, and then come back up. So there's, again, a few options for Ethereum. You know, I think Ethereum's power as an altcoin, very good. You know, I see it definitely doing well. But at the moment, where it is now, I'm not long and or shorting it. I'm just leaving it to see where it goes. And that's the main thing. I'm trying to teach you guys. You know, we can't. When looking at trades, we don't want to jump in every trade, because the trade has to be a right trade. It has to kind of come to you. And a lot of traders that people wait for the trade to be activated. For example, if you're long in here, right? You don't know where that's going to go. You don't know whether. I even put it on the 15 minutes for you guys so you can see clearly. Look, all right, we have 3 candles here. We have resistance in this region here of 2,178. Look, resistance. This is on the 15-minute chart, so you know we don't have a clear indication where this can go. We can long wick up, we can long wick down, go either way. So I'm not touching a trade like this at the moment. So because I don't know. We're looking to see if it goes on to support and holds that area. If it does, I can open a long there if it holds that support. Obviously, this support line of 2000, if we've held it for quite a long time, we've held that since the 20th of June, that support there. So look, that's telling me it's good support so far. So yeah, so that's the Ethereum chart. And obviously, guys, everything I'm trying to show you right now is how you trade longs and shorts and fake outs and volume, etc. Like the basics principle that I use, you know, I can use million indicators, I can use RSI. RSI is a good indicator, don't get me wrong. I feel like kind of, I'll bring it up to show you what I mean, guys. So it kind of shows me, you know, where the RSI is, whether we oversold or overbought. And it shows me obviously when we come to the top of this 70 mark here, that would all be a good short. When we're all the way down here, that would have been a good long, etc. But in this region here, right, when we fell under to 20, the 1 hour chart, even though it said it's a good long, let me zoom in for you guys. It was telling me it was a good long here, but realistically the price. Let's look. So on the 8th of July at 1 o'clock, it was 20. It would have been a good region to be long in some a coin. But when we zoom in, Ethereum dumped further, so that wouldn't have been a good long. It would have been a good short. So that's why you can't take every indicator. You know, no one indicator is correct. You can use a variety of them to add more complements to your charts. Whether it's a volume indicator, moving averages, you know, Ishimoku. It depends obviously what you guys do. But a lot of traders I've seen on social media, or the best traders that I know of how they trade this region, you're looking at your simple support resistance lines, placing them correctly. Once we come to resistance and we have rejection of there, it's possibly for a short. Once we come back down to support, we can have a possible long in from that position. And the last thing I want to show you guys, I know this is a long video, but I wanted to cram everything in for you guys, obviously, to explain, you know, what's going on in the market and my thoughts as well. Actually, I've got 2 more things to show you. So I'm going to show you Luna. Where is Luna? Luna. It might be on the others. Oh, no, it's here. Get rid of the RSI. So this Luna chart I showed you guys this the other day. If you remember, I'll put it to 4 hours so you can see clearly. Right, so remember, Josh, I've done a video on it. It's in the VIP group. You have a look through it when you get a chance. Right, so we have this downtrend line here, this trend line here. We have a break above this region, and then we retested it down here. Then I established, once we had this breakdown here, I put a bottom trend line going across once we had this confluence of here. Then since then, I placed, show you exactly what I did again. I've done a fib. I've done a fib from this short, from this low here at $4.51. The recent high that we had, this one here at $5. What you do, you just want to drop that across. And this time I've used, you can either use the wicks or the position. So actually I initially used the closes rather than the wicks. But I have disagreements with some people in the VIP group sometimes because they use the wicks, I use the closes. You can use both. It depends obviously how you want to trade it. But let's, for example, let's see, I just use the body there and I drag this across. And I know once we had the rejection of this line here, we had a confluence of the 0.618. That would have been a good place to put bids in to long this position here. And obviously once we long this position, we saw it bounce back up here, rejected, bounce off this trend line, come back up here, broke out this trend line but recovered quickly, and then since then it just powered through. So a lot of people ask me about what about an invalidation of your fib. So obviously here the fib's invalidated because we pushed what we need to push there. So we can add a new fib. We can go a recent swing low. So a swing low, it depends where you want to start it. It's entirely up to you. You can start it where the first move was. What we'll do, I want to do it. Let's say I'm doing this one, right? Say you want to do it for where it recently moved. Right, so we have a swing low to swing high. We can actually, you know what? Let's make it more accurate. Let's do the recent move that you had. So we came back up here, retested. One, sorry guys. Make sure this is as accurate as I can for you guys. Look, it's retested. Look, this was swing low here. High. There you go. Simple as that. Drag that across so you can see clearly. I'll do the, let's do the wick for now because the candle's not closed, so it's not really accurate. So that swing low is at 6.425, swing high currently at 7.882. The potential targets up to here. Let's swing with the fib. We can see a possible retracement at 6.98 if I have a pullback. If not, we can see it breaking up to these regions here because it's already powered through quite nicely. The problem is, again, I wouldn't be touching Luna right now because it's pumped quite well. Look, it's coming up to this. We have resistance here since we dumped since the 19th of May. I'll just draw that for you here. I'll draw the right there. So we have resistance here. We can always push up to the top wicks here. Again, it depends obviously how you want to play it. You can literally do on that wick actually here, which quite well. So look, that wick here on the 3rd of June. That's 3rd of June wick acting as resistance here. We wicked up against the same region here. So again, you can see that's resistance, there's more resistance here. But if you start breaking that and start pushing through, we can definitely see Luna going for these regions here. If you don't, you can see a pullback back down to $7. Again, look, that's a potential trade. You know, that can swing either way. Luna is one of my favorite coins. I hold it currently in spot. I've been holding it. Well, but I was buying it down here actually. If anything, I was literally the first coin I really wanted to buy is Luna. I was buying it down at $4 here. Hasn't done too bad since that period. We've had again a lot of choppiness. Came back up here, came back down, and visited the same area here. Came back up here because this is a coin. I'll zoom out again for you. One day. That where we are now, where it was previously. We was at $22. Currently, look, and I've shared this to you guys before on Luna. Show you right now. Look, we're currently accumulating in the same area. If I drag that across, look, same accumulation, all the way up here, came back down, accumulation, and again, look, so you can see on the daily where that resistance is. That's $7.80. Currently testing it. So Luna can do two things right now. Now for you, you can do two things right now. Look at that. Good candle today. You can either come back here and reject, come back down to 0.618 or find previous support. And actually highlight this area here. That can be support right there. Get the fib out for you so you can see clearly. I use this line here. I'll move it right now. I can use that as support. Because it was previous resistance there, previous resistance there, resistance, resistance, resistance. Quick support on these two bars, but nothing crazy. And now since it's pumped through here, it's been acting as support. So look, Luna's a good trade right now. So maybe I'm monitoring actually, if anything. I'm going to flip this, go high. I'll get $10. Would be a great long there on the flip, or will be a great short if we get rejection off there. And the last thing I'm going to do, this video is probably actually one of my longest videos. I'm not sure what the timing is, but the last thing I'm going to do to you guys, what am I going to do? I saw this post earlier out from Crypto Quant in regards to the BTC long term. So it says people that really understand BTC know that holding will definitely pays out. Scarcity is a fact that can't be changed at the moment, which is true because with BTC, in the total how many coins it is 21 million. And again, the next 3 million will be released in the next halving in 2024. So, and then it says check where we are in March 2020, the red circle for you guys. Up like that. And the red circle says check where it was in March 2020. That was the supply of the BTC reserves was really high at that period. And then gradually, while the reserves were really high, we saw this action here. So once we were taking out reserves in this period in 2021, once we was chopping down here, price was going up. So check where we were in March 2020 and where we are now, which is the green circle, which is down here. Just don't get fooled by reading too many metrics. So basically saying long-term reserves downtrend, which we currently have. We had a bit of a chop, came back up here. So I expect it to fall back down further down. It means BTC is leaving exchanges into Wells's wallets. So the prices will go up, reserves uptrends. So if the reserves start going back up again, where people are selling further, then we can see prices go back down. Again, this is quite a thing that I'm monitoring as well at the moment. You know, this region here is telling me that they're accumulating. Reserves came back up at 20,000, but got rejected. Come back down here at 10,000. And expect if that starts to fall again, we expect prices to rise up again, which will indicate what people are saying mostly. There will be another cycle of BTC since the halving. It only makes sense. Again, I don't want to say I'm too bullish or too bearish. I'm just seeing the facts, and what I've said to you guys for the last 2 months, what's been happening is just pure accumulation at lower prices. So every coin that you're seeing right now, whether you're holding or you want to buy in, a lot of coins are in accumulation phases, whether that's BTC, Ethereum, or any other altcoins. So yeah, so I think I've covered everything. I've been long overdue a Friday video update. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you understood my thinking behind most of the stuff that I talk about, what I post. And yeah, so if you have any questions about this video or anything that I've posted recently, let me know, guys. We're currently, like I said, in an accumulation phase, and we can see that's happening currently with BTC. And once obviously, I don't know when it will end. but it's patiently accumulating your favorite coins at the moment at lower prices, buying at support, selling at resistance, reaccumulate, buy at support, sell at resistance, etc. But backwards and forwards, doing the same thing, accumulate as much money as you can, accumulate as much of the coin that you want, and eventually when the direction of BTC show us the real way where it's going to go up further or down further, then we trade that exact same way, whether we'll be selling our altcoins or whether we buying more, selling when we go higher. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope I haven't bored you for the last, maybe I'm gonna say an estimation of about 30 minutes because this is a quite long video. And yeah, so let me know if you have any questions and let's speak soon. Thank you very much.